Now, SA cane growers are deeply concerned that Tongaat Hulett Limited has entered business rescue. They say this will be catastrophic for them and the entire sugarcane value chain. Over 400 million rand, which is owed to growers by the end of the month, will be delayed. Andrew Russell is the chairperson of SA Cane Growers. He's joining us now this hour here on Today. Good afternoon, Andrew. Thank you for your time and your patience while we were talking to our correspondent in Nigeria, where there's also been a U.S. terror attack alert that has been issued by the American embassy, similar to sent in here this week. So let's talk about the Cane Growers Association's concerns around the issue of Tongaat Hulett Limited entering into business rescue. What's at risk here?
Well, Dan, for the growers and the sugarcane value chain, everything is at risk. As you've said earlier, the move to business rescue means that Tongaat Hulett have lost control of their bank accounts. And in the immediate term, that means that over 400 million rand that was due to be paid to growers at the end of the month is likely not to happen on time. This will have direct financial consequences on those growers and in fact on the farm workers that they support as well. And it could plunge thousands of growers into destitution and raises the risk of unrest in the KwaZulu-Natal's rural cane growing communities.
So the livelihoods will be threatened, and then you fear people might react.
Yes, we fear that they might react. In the longer term, we're concerned that, in fact, it might threaten the operations of the sugar mills that our growers supply their sugarcane to. And because of the late stage in the season, there's nowhere else that cane could go. All of the other sugar mills close to the Tongaat Hulett mills are at capacity. And so there is a real potential for quite significant financial loss and really impacting on livelihoods, not only of the mill employees, but also of the growers and the various suppliers and input suppliers and other stakeholders that are dependent on the sugarcane value chain for their livelihoods.
Diverse communities will be affected negatively. Were you as cane growers aware that Tongaat Hulett might go into business rescue? Were you informed at all?
No, we weren't informed. We knew, as many are aware, that Tongaat Hulett have financial woes and that they have taken steps to try and address those issues that they have. But the decision to enter into business rescue at this time came to us without warning. We have engaged with the Tongaat Hulett board and their executive management since that time, and will be following all the relevant steps to engage with the business rescue process to try and ensure that payments due to growers are in fact prioritized in this process.
Yeah, so when are you engaging them? Because my understanding, the way you operate is the payments are due at the end of this month for the sugarcane that was delivered in September.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Growers get paid a month in arrears for the cane that they delivered. So that sugarcane has already been delivered, it has already been processed, and it has already been turned into sugar. So we are engaging with them. We've been invited to meet with them on Monday and to meet with the business rescue practitioners to discuss the importance of making sure that growers get paid, that the sugarcane supply chain keeps moving, and that these mills stay operational, that they're given sufficient resources in order to stay operational for the remainder of the season and obviously into next season.
Yeah, that's a big question, and that's the biggest risk, because you might be able to influence the business rescuers and the board of Tongaat Hulett and whoever else is involved that you are engaging with to at least pay at the end of October for the sugarcane that's already been processed that you delivered in September. But going forward, the prospects for Tongaat Hulett might be bleak. I mean, I'm talking about November, I'm talking about this month you've been delivering, I guess, of October. What is that scenario looking like in your view?
Well, we really need all of the stakeholders, all of the role players, including the business rescue practitioners, the Tongaat Hulett board and their executive management, the financial institutions that have been lending the money and have now reviewed that lending facility, as well as government. We need them to understand the severity of the situation, and in order to retain the value and in order for the sugar industry to keep functioning and to keep producing the value that it does with as little disruption as possible, we need those guys to engage with each other and, if necessary, engage with us so that we can find collaborative solutions to this situation.
Okay, in the short term, as we conclude, Andrew, you said that there's like 401 million rand of payment that's due at the end of October to the cane growers. That's the short-term need for now. But if the mills do not remain operational beyond October, as Tongaat Hulett's financial woes are being handled by the business rescuers, what's the outlook? I mean, I'm sure there's many people who could lose jobs and some cane growers could shut down.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Dan. As you know, the sugarcane industry operates in the deep rural areas of KwaZulu-Natal and in Mpumalanga. The mills we're talking about are all in Zululand and in the KwaZulu-Natal area, and they are the lifeblood for those communities. It's the only commodity that is commercially viable to many small-scale growers. They pump billions of rands into those communities through the mills and through the work that's created on the farms and in the various support services that are in place to serve the mills and to help the farmers to grow and harvest their crops, the logistics operators. The entire value chain is dependent on that sugarcane getting into the mills and being crushed and converted into sugar and supplying part of our food security for the whole country. So yes, it's really significant to those deep rural communities. It also will impact the availability of sugar nationally if the Tongaat Hulett mills are no longer performing. So we have prioritized this matter and are giving it all of our attention, and we're hopeful that the other stakeholders are doing the same.